Bruce Lee is an extraordinary person. Everything he did in life acquired its own character. The great master studied dancing as hard as he studied martial art. He danced beautifully, and in 1958 year, at the age of 18, he won the Hong Kong Cha-Cha-Cha Championship. Bruce was also a great boxer. In the same year, he won the boxing championship, but he became a real professional in the field of Chinese martial arts. To this day, years after the legend's death, many criticize and question his combat skills and training methods, believing that this is just a good actor's performance and nothing more. But alas, in our world, it is always the same, and in no other way. There will always be people who will contradict, despite the huge amount of available information and evidence. But, despite all of the above, Bruce managed knockouts both in staged on-screen fights and in real life. Welcome back to the world of boxing. Today, we will talk not only about the legendary one-inch punch, but also look in slow motion at the super speed of Bruce Lee's punches, which he demonstrated at various competitions and seminars. Bruce Lee could strike in 0.5 hundredths of a second from a distance of 1 meter. This is 1/20th of the time interval for which a person blinks. And in 0.8 hundredths of a second from 1.5 meters. The camera, shooting 24 frames per second, could not cope with the task of capturing Bruce's blows. Such a blow was not visible. In one shot, Bruce is standing in a rack, and in the next, he is already in a rack again, but the opponent is writhing in pain. So, on the first takes of the Green Hornet, rivals magically flew around Bruce, who was standing almost motionless, which did not suit the producers in any way. While usually the video of combat scenes is accelerated for dynamism, the directors asked Bruce to beat slower, and shot him with advanced technology at that time, at a speed of 32 frames per second, and then slowed down. And even so, all that was achieved was a very blurry movement. The reaction and speed of movements of the famous martial artist and film actor were phenomenal. For example, Lee managed to replace a dime in a person's hand before he had time to squeeze his fingers, tossed a couple of rice grains and caught them in the air with chopsticks, punched a full can of Coca-Cola with his finger. As Lee Hayward's friend Hishioka recalled, Bruce's one-inch punch sent guys who exceeded the master in weight by 45 kilograms flying 5 meters. The athlete gave such force to the blow that people flew to the side and bounced off the wall. By the way, Bruce Lee holds such world records as the most consecutive knockout. 18.6 seconds, the fastest knockout from a hand punch. 3.2 seconds, the fastest kick with a knockout. 86 miles an hour, the fastest knockout. 1/2 of a second. But now, let's talk a little more about the legendary punch from a distance of 1 inch. This punch is possible thanks to the skillful use of the hips, the current of energy, and the punch. The clenched fist is in an upright position. During the blow, the fist turns sharply upwards. This vertical fist punch is only used in close combat, 10 centimeters or less from the target. If you try to carry out this blow from a greater distance, then it will be weak in contact with the opponent's body. There are, of course, other ways to increase the current of energy. For example, you can train while driving in a car. Put your hands on the steering wheel, as if you are practicing Chisao. Press the steering wheel with them. Lee makes a steady movement, but in reality, he presses his hands to the stick to develop the flow of energy. But fortunately, the flow of energy can be trained anywhere, where you can apply pressure on one or all of your hands. Many of those who carry out a one-inch punch really knock over the opponent, but they do it not thanks to the blow, but with the help of a push. Pushing the opponent, of course, you will be able to drop him, but you will not be able to harm him. Therefore, it is necessary to distinguish a blow from a push. When hitting, your force is concentrated at the point of contact, and when pushing, your force only begins to act at the point of contact and is usually lost when you fully straighten your arm. Your strength comes from the hips, and when pushing, it usually comes from the leg, which pushes the body forward. There is no need to hit by swinging up. The punch should be directed straight, and the fist itself should be clenched a second before touching the target. To transfer the force of the blow, you have to pull the other hand sharply towards the body at the moment of contact. If you take a step to make a punch, then your fist should reach the target before your foot steps on the floor. Otherwise, your weight will go to the floor instead of giving force to the impact. The hips and shoulders should begin to act before the hand, so that the blow is fast, strong, and accurate. Although the movement of the legs gives additional force to the blow, you can overturn the opponent without moving forward and without tension. If you hold the blow correctly, the force of the impact depends on the balance and the choice of the right moment of impact. The right moment of impact is very important for its strength. Without it, if you hit too early or too late, you may lose power. Many theorists agree that such a force of impact, not only the result of training, but also an innate ability. Bruce Lee was a great man. Agree, not everyone will be able to repeat the things that Bruce Lee performed in his videos. So far, in principle, no one has managed to repeat them. Amazing speed, strength, and a strong accentuated kick. He was too fast for the cameras, and the operators asked him to perform the strokes a little slower. He could do push-ups on 2 fingers of one hand and pull himself up on the little finger, toss rice grains into the air, and catch them with Chinese chopsticks. Bruce Lee starred in 36 films during his life, and almost as many documentaries and feature films about the actor himself were made after his death. On the screen, he was a fearless hero who overcame any difficulties on the way to justice with a stern and ruthless fighter. In ordinary life, Bruce Lee was a smiling and charming man who loved his family with all his soul. This is how he will remain in the hearts of his fans and loved ones. A great fighter, an actor, and a man with a capital letter. Bruce Lee. I hope this video will be useful for many and will answer a number of existing questions. Thank you for watching this video to the end. See you in the new releases.